Dear travellers and welcome, they lied to us. They lied to us. Alright, get your things. Come on, quick, let's go. Let's go for a walk. I need to chat. I got a big rant in me, and I need to just let it out. Let's go for a walk. Here we are at Polo Bay, I believe. It's a beautiful part on the coast. Absolutely beautiful natural rock. But let's not worry about that right now. I'm furious. They lied to us. Okay? You can lie to any other person, but don't you come here. Don't you dare come here and lie to my little travellers. Okay? I won't let them do it. Okay? Here's my little travellers just doing their best to enjoy life, and they're just getting hit with lies. I can't believe this. I'm going to blow the lid on the photography industry. Blowing the lid. It's happening now. I'm sorry to do this to you. I'm sorry to everyone that's watching, because I know Kodak and Fuji are going to be reaching for that button under the table right now. All the big YouTubers, they're going to be reaching for that button. Yep. They thought they could keep this from us. They thought it would never come out, but it's too late. I caught wind of it. I'm furious. I had to have 2 showers. I'm still furious. Had a green tea. I'm furious. I'm gonna blow the lid. I'm gonna blow the lid, and you're gonna see the worms that have been just feasting. And I'm the bearer of bad news. I don't want to be this guy. I don't want to have to be this guy. But here I am, at the age I am, and I'm doing it. Because I can't live like this anymore. Now that I know, I have to tell the truth. Your photography will never be the same after I tell you this spectacular lie that's been bed down the old throat like I'm a little parrot, and you got your little dry crackers, and you just push it through the side of the cage, and you just get your little cracker in there, and I'm just chomping on it thinking, oh yeah, who's a happy boy, and it's just a cracker of lies, cracker of deceit. There's no easy way to say it, so I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to come out and just both barrels and just say it. From day one, you were just a happy person enjoying photography. You loved it. It made you happy in your heart. And you snap these little photos, and you get home and you put them on the computer, and you were like, yeah, look at that. I took that. I did that. That was me. And you felt so proud of yourself. You know, look at that. It's countryside. It's a cute little, look at that little house there. I took that. It felt good, you know. And you thought, I really enjoy this. I'm going to do research. I'm going to find out, you know, how to be a better photographer and get better photos. You know, you were so excited. You were so naive. So you start to do research, and you want to buy yourself a new camera, and you want to step up, you know. Without doing research, you're like, I just got to get the newest and best. And then you start to say, oh, actually, you don't really need the newest and best. It's all about the glass. It's all about the glass. Huh? Date a body, marry a lens. Yeah, you've heard that one, right? Oh my goodness. Big lie, just poof, hit you in the head, you didn't even notice it. Marry the lens, forget the body's just, who cares? The body doesn't matter. Here it is, guys. Here it is. I hate to be so blunt, but here it is. The body is just a box with a hole in it. The body, the thing that takes the photo, mate, it's just a box with a hole in it. You've heard that one, haven't you? You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Doesn't matter what camera you get. The lens. It's the lens, mate. The lens does all the hard lifting. The body, still nothing. Literally, it's a box with a hole in it. Okay, you can get a potato and put a hole in it, bang. That's just, it's not true. I'm sorry. It's not true. You lied to us. And I now got a garage full of glass. Useless. This is what I've learned. This is what I've come to discover, kind of recently. And I think it's really important, and I hope you can understand what I'm trying to say, okay? Because this is what I've learned. I've been shooting film for quite some time, and I've been doing the research for quite some time. And everyone says the same thing. The body is just a box. You know why they told us that? Because while we're like stupid people, while we're buying all these glasses and these lenses for way too much money, these guys are pocketing all the bodies. Because they get it. They understand photography. Let me explain to you why a body is important. And why a body is just as important as a lens. Maybe even more important. Okay? Right now, you probably don't believe me. You're probably thinking, come on, Shutter Slaps. You're really stretching the boundaries of reality here for me. Okay? Everyone knows the lens is super important and the body doesn't matter. We all know it. How are you going to prove the whole industry wrong? I'm going to do it right here, right now. Why is the body so important? Okay, so let's break it down. What's one thing that all famous YouTubers have? Something that they don't really talk too much about. Sure, they've made the odd video about it, but they don't really give it enough importance that it deserves. Have you figured it out? It's the light meter. They all have professional light meters, no matter what camera they're using. But we've always been told that film has an amazing latitude, and if you shoot something like portrait, then you can push that film 2, 3, 4, even 5 stops over or under, and it doesn't really matter, right? Think about it. If film was so flexible with a huge latitude, then what's the point of having the state-of-the-art light meter? The bitter truth is that metering and getting correct exposure is one of the most important pillars of getting a good image. And that goes for film and digital. So what's our options when it comes to metering? You've got Sunny 16. I used to always use Sunny 16, but recently I discovered that it's not even close to accurate. I'll link a video that goes into it, so forget about Sunny 16. Look, it's good if you're in a pinch, but if it was that accurate, then there would be no point on buying a pro light meter. So what's our next option? Smartphone apps. Yeah, nah. Again, it's good to get you out of a pinch, and it will ensure you don't take unusable photos, but that's about it. Without going deep into it, it only measures the light bouncing off the subject, and it's a very rudimentary system, blah 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 blah. What else? Oh, a 50-year-old mercury-powered little light needle in these vintage cameras. Sorry, but that's not going to cut it. These meters are ancient, and most of the time, they aren't able to accept modern high ISO films. Then, you have pro light meters. Obviously the best and most reliable choice. These meters are so powerful. They can read the light hitting the subject and the light bouncing off the subject. Plus it can calculate averages between the highlights and the blacks. They're the best, hands down. But for the average mortal like us, it might be a little out of our price and abilities. So what's our other options? The body. It's the body. You get yourself something like a Canon 1N or a Nikon F4, F5 or something like that in that kind of time frame and that level of camera. Why? Because the body matters. These Pro SLRs came standard with matrix metering and spot metering. Do you know how amazing it is to have a film camera that has spot metering? And matrix metering is a heaven sent. If you're not sure what spot metering is, I highly recommend you do some research on it. As for matrix, it was a super advanced metering system that took the whole frame into account to accurately expose the image. Are these metering systems as good as a standalone pro light meter? Short answer, nah, they're not. But it's the next best metering system you can get, and these bodies cost less than what a standalone meter would cost you. And think about this, what's some of the most popular cameras on YouTube? You know them, come on, top of your head, what's the most popular cameras? The first one that comes to your mind, Contax T2, bang. What about a Mamiya 7? What about a Yashica T4, blah blah blah, what about a Leica M6? What do all these cameras have in common? Why are they so popular? What do they have in common? Okay, they have nice glass. Okay, I can't argue with that. They do have nice glass. But they also all have fantastic metering systems. And that's the first thing you notice when you look at the image. How well it's been metered. Because it's the most important thing, man. That's just one reason why the body matters. Next, I used to have a Fujica GW690. And I love that camera. There's a video about it if you're interested to know more about it. But you know what bugged me about that camera? The fastest shutter speed was 1/500th of a second. What the hell is that? Well, in short, if you want flexibility with lenses, you'll need to use filters. So that's another thing you need to bring and learn to use. It's outdated. It just is. You get a new Pro SLR, like the ones I've mentioned, and the thing can shoot 8,000ths of a second. No need for filters. Open that lens wide and crank up the shutter even with high ISO films and go nuts. What else? How about autofocus? That's pretty handy, hey? Especially if your eyesight isn't that good, why not get a body that can autofocus? Imagine that, a body that can adapt modern glass and can autofocus. And talk about glass, the native glass for the late 90s SLRs is dirt cheap. Because nobody rates them enough. Because they're not cool. It hasn't got that cool factor. It's not vintage. Come on, forget about. What else? What possibly else could a body do? Okay, this is going to sound not important, But this is really important. This is really important. If you talk to a designer, if you spoke to someone who designed furniture or designed your houses, things like that, something that they will tell you is that the items that you're designing, whatever it is, the items that come in contact with the human hand are extremely important, because that's your contact point between you and the object. You know, your hands, those things that you've had your whole life that are on the end of your arms, those things there, you know, they're extremely capable, and they're able to distinguish so many different textures, feelings, thoughts. There's so much going on. So that first contact with the camera, the body, that's the first thing you do when you pick it up, right? You pick the body up. You very rarely pick the camera up by the lens and just hang on to the lens. It's not happening. You grab the body. Now let's go back to those older cameras. Like I said previously, I had a Pentax Spotmatic. Now, when that's in my hands, when I was holding it, yeah, look, it was comfortable. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not that bad. But at the same time, there was nothing remarkable. I wasn't like, wow, that feels great in my hand. I've even heard some people talk about Leicas and say that they're not even that comfortable in the hand. They're good, they're great, but you got to kind of pinch them to hold them, things like that. And there's lots of cameras like that. They're great cameras, but they're not the comfortablest. Well, welcome to the 90s, guys. This is the most comfortable body design you can get. My F4, I wrap my hands around that grip. It's the best grip ever. And that makes a difference. It's comfortable. It fits your hand. You pick it up. It's solid. It feels rugged. Having that relationship with the body and enjoying using that body, it's a big deal. It's a huge deal. Because I tell you what, when I walk past my shelf full of all my cameras and I see that F4, I just want to pick it up. I just want to pick it up and just grab it, switch it on, look through the viewfinder. That's what I want to do. It makes me feel that way because of how it looks, physically how it looks, but also because I know it's so comfortable. I know that grip made out of solid metal, covered in rubber. It's just fantastic, man. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Okay, I'm going to let you in on a total Shutter Slaps exclusive. If I had a Patreon, this content would definitely be on the Patreon, and only the paid members would. But I gift it to you. I gift it to you. Okay, this is a gift. I've spoken a lot about the F series, the F4, F5, F6. Spoken a lot about the 1Ns, because obviously I've had one, so I'm talking about what I know. There's a couple of cameras I haven't had that I've heard very good things about. One of them is the Canon EOS Elan, also known as the EOS 7, also known as the EOS 77. Okay, it's got different names depending where in the world you are. This camera is reasonably cheap, also got amazing metering systems, it's also got just about everything I've just mentioned. It's so cheap. Even if you got an entry-level body, that metering system in that entry-level body will still destroy some old-fashioned 1980s thing that used mercury batteries. I guarantee you that. And also, it's going to have the faster shutter speeds. It's going to have different focusing modes. It's going to have different focusing spots. You know, like we're getting... Imagine if you could have a pro DSLR, but it took film. How sick would that be? That's what they've got. Someone already thought of it, and they thought of it before digital. They're there. Get one. I can't say this enough, but I just think too many people are saying that the body's useless. That's completely wrong. It's just completely wrong. And I hope I've proved that to you today. And I hope I've given you a new lease on photography. Go out there, spend some money, guys. Now you've got an excuse to go buy some new gear, right? Go get yourself a good body. If you're shooting some K1000 or some old thing that just doesn't meter, and you're wondering how come these guys have great shots, how come their photography is just on another level compared to me? Okay, you know, of course it comes down to your eye and how you compose and all these things, but take one element of chaos out of it, and that is exposure. Get something that exposes properly. Now, of course, the best thing ever is to get a handheld exposure reader. That's definitely something to look into. But that takes you to another level, okay? You're going to be one of those people with a thing hanging around your neck and you're like, oh, check, yep, looks good, snap. It's a whole nother step in the whole photography thing. I'm not saying not to do it. I'm just saying, for me, I'm not at a level where I really want to be doing that. So the body is the greatest thing to me. One day, you never know. If I was doing portraits in a controlled environment and you need to get that lighting just right, then sure, I'd get a meter. I'm sure one day I will. But that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got a bit of a kick out of it. And go out there. Take some photos. Enjoy it. Get that exposure right. Oh, and be confident about it. Okay? I just thought of another point. How easy it is to load film in this thing. You just open the back door, put the canister in, pull it across a tiny bit, slam the door closed, bang, the film's loaded. So that's another point. Just thought of it. Until next time, I will catch you on the next one.
Nights expire, but no one wants to leave. I'm looking out from inside the moment into a world I don't believe. Scenes of people flickering inside the candlelight. Even after all blown out, the faces still swept in the night. And if this is how it's meant to feel, then knowing her so unreal, how much too real, I don't quite know. Shining up through wet streets and passing in the rain, mornings barely hold together, conversations that never came. I'm piecing her together from things I overhear, the way she sighs in a cinema, and the way her eyes appear. This is how it's meant to feel. And knowing her is so unreal. And if this is how it's meant to feel, then knowing her is so unreal.